Hills of War, uncontested pick here from Piercing. Pixel just takes it.
Yeah,
So
no veto, no veto.
I'm
See, if I
really,
was Pixel, I would have done the same thing, but Piercing's really good at this map.
yeah, I'm really interested to see what build order is here for Pixel. I feel like build order is going to be one of the things he has to overcome
Yep,
in order to even compete here, because Piercing's going to be so quick to have pressure.
absolutely. Notice that they both picked Jetpack.
Okay, good call. Yep.
Yeah, I think for Pixel that's the right call.
Yeah, in general, I consider north side to be more of an offense advantage and south side to be a defensive advantage due to how the terrain's set up. So,
What is this? Like,
this,
Oh my God.
he's copying me. Oh no.
what is he? What?
Man, I didn't know Pixel had this in him. Really, this is crazy.
He needs to be using both the K and the Scrabber though. That's the biggest advantage that you get from. Yeah, I don't know if he's practiced this because.
It doesn't look like he has, to be honest. He
What
hasn't
is
filled his scrap tank up to full once yet.
No. What's doing the Scrabber thing, but he's not doing K as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
It's
see,
still,
like
I
doing it.
love to see the novelty. I still love it.
yeah.
Like doing this is slightly faster if you're piloting it, but the major advantage that you get is from the doubled capacity. So,
Piercing is cruising through mid right now, setting up nabs. He's already got
of course.
northwest scrap pocket with those two geysers there. He's
I
working
mean, I
on
would have
getting
known. I
that
would.
for himself
You could
already.
shoot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have to.
Who would have guessed that?
Yeah, I had
You
I had
know,
no idea at all.
I am completely surprised by that.
Yeah, I do like how Pixel is getting an army out. Like he's already got what, like 5 or 6. I see 5 or 6 offensives.
That's not too bad. He might be able to confidently push into the west side. Let's see what he does here.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Piercing already has the
this is
turrets
going
up.
to decide
Yeah.
the game.
Piercing has turrets up and mid geyser king. That's a good point out there.
Man,
So
I don't think he should go for mid though, because
Nope.
like his units are going to get trashed here.
Yeah,
I can
especially
almost
by the
guarantee
turrets. He should have built a constructor and dropped a silo here while he was moving his producers forward, because there's going to be a fight.
100% agree.
Yeah, and he's going to have nothing left.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work for him.
No, that's the mistake that he. Yep, that's the game right there. Calling it.
Yeah, it's over. Like, I don't think this composition can defeat this setup.
No, not even. But he doesn't have the ability to. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh no, scrap storage. Yeah.
No, don't attack the recycler. You're not going to have the firepower.
So that one turret there, plus not getting an eject on Piercing, this is the problem I see some newer players making, is they'll prioritize their firepower in the wrong direction. What I mean by that is, if Piercing would have been the focus of that attack, and knowing when to fall back, like once you run into the turret, but if Piercing would have been the focus of that attack, and then Pixel was able to utilize his 6 or 7 AI and his player tank against the turret and the wreck, I think that would have gone much better for him.
Yeah. There's another caveat as well, where like light tanks don't really have a whole lot of like offensive firepower. So if you need something to go down quickly, a light tank isn't going to do it unless you have like 8 of them.
Right.
So and like half his army was wiped out by the time he reached the recycler.
Okay,
Much so.
yeah, this is interesting here. I really need to speak to Piercing's gradual skill level increase here. He's adaptable. It seems like he's a very one-trick pony on the surface, but he adapts his play to achieve the same goal. What I mean by that is, he had a little bit of a scrap advantage, and he knows that Pixel is running into the canyon right now, because he knows Pixel's smart enough to do this. So he arms 4 or 5 of his units with minigun, because that's all the scrap he had, but that's still going to give him a pretty sizable advantage. Like, he knows when to pivot into scrap control and when to upgrade units and when to push, and like how to keep control of scrap while he's pushing. And it's really impressive to know where Piercing came from, like as a DM only player, to now taking wins off of so many reliably. I think he really maybe struggles with Rio, but other than that,
all those modes.
he can win against most everyone.
Yeah, I like
he can.
the constant shifting. I think that's where a lot of players maybe don't they don't shift, or they don't know when to shift their
Mhm.
approach. And I think that's probably Piercing's best.
Yeah,
Best,
100%.
Yeah,
And
I still think Piercing relies way too heavily on winning within the first 3 minutes of the game, because once you
He
get
does.
past that point, like the difficulty in fighting him off just goes down substantially, and
Yeah.
I've
that's
seen
an
him
area where I'd like to
winning.
see him progress.
Yeah, definitely. But I think Piercing is the type of learner who wants the experiences for himself and like wants to grow in his own way, because
Yep.
Yeah,
he's approached strat from a direction that is very unique, at least in our community. He wants to apply early pressure and then maximize the power that gives him toward winning the match.
yeah.
So
I do like the comet plays that he's been doing in more recent games. I would like to see more of that.
It punishes the tight grouping that happens.
Yeah,
Now, hey,
the
real
cliche
quick.
cluster is what I
Yeah.
call it. Cliche cluster.
Now, real quick, did you see if Piercing has any units with mortar or rockets? He does not.
I don't think
So
he does, but
9
he
times
yeah,
out of 10, he will build rocket tanks, though. That gives him the
I
explosive weapons
I
that he
didn't
needs.
see it, and the relevant um the relevant part of that is Pixel just built some APCs and some turrets. So if Pixel can break out of the canyons, but Piercing's already in satellite, so he knows what's happening. He's about to flank this.
Look at that
Yeah.
kill died ratio. Like, gosh, that's so brutal.
It's brutal. If he had built a silo and not over pushed and just held, I think
what
I
he
think that this
also
would.
needed was -2 light tank +2 APC, right? I mean,
That's true. That's true. But the APCs are too slow for that hit. Well, he could have deployed them if he'd been ejected and then not died, or even given an attack order before he died.
right,
That could
because
have.
Piercing doesn't have mortar on his half holes git. So I don't know. I think
Yeah.
in my opinion, if you're not fighting Piercing with at least 2 APCs, I'm talking starting at minute 2. Like you need 2
Yeah, yeah.
APCs at minute 2, and if you're not doing that, you don't understand how good Piercing is yet.
Yeah.
Like you have to be doing that, because the pressure he's going to apply to you comes at a cost, and that cost in a lot of cases is no mortar, no explosives. So he's gonna
Yep.
have red devils from the recycler, but he doesn't like to build them that much. We see Scout, his go-to unit, Scout light tank, rocket tank, and then APCs and howitzers when he gets into a good winning position. But yeah, I really like where this is going for Piercing.
Yeah. Piercing moved correctly. He hasn't sealed the top, but I don't think he needs to.
He did. There's a minefield there. There's a full
Oh, there's a
minefield
minefield. Oh, okay.
on
Yeah.
North
Okay.
Canyon entrance.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's good enough.
I think this map needs a slight adjustment with this scrap here, because like the scrap is like all directly on top of that geyser, and you actually have to
It's
build a
just
silo to collect it.
shit.
It's annoying.
Shit map design. Yeah, it is annoying. Wait, it's a minor thing. All right, use your APCs. Come on, Pixel. Start putting pressure with the APCs. Why are you waiting?
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to
What are you
work in this case. Like Piercing
What are you
already
doing?
has
What are you
the
doing?
weapons he
Don't
needs.
even fuck with the silo. You don't even need it. You don't even need it. You need to push.
Well, he needs to collect that scrap.
No,
okay.
he doesn't even have time to do anything with it. He needs to deal with those turrets.
He sees the day wrecker here. And
He
he's
does. I don't think he's
still-
gonna be
I don't
able to
think he
do it.
needs to do anything with those turrets actually, because what is there for Pixel to gain by engaging those turrets?
He can, if he gets the opportunity. Okay, wow. If he gets the opportunity to move. Now he can use his army to put some more pressure onto Piercing.
Yeah. Well,
Piercing loses a disadvantage, and now he also has to get out there to kill that howitzer.
yeah. What Pixel needs to do, in my opinion, is just move back south, because like there's nothing on the map for him to collect, because Piercing's probably collected it all. He just needs to either camp out at mid or try to put up as much defense as possible in a good location, and just try to get Piercing to feed.
Pixel made a huge mistake here. He should have left a couple of scavengers back to eat that scrap up.
Like, why build the silo?
Yeah, or
I think he's panicking at this point.
He is. He also should have left some turrets behind. It's when you're doing a move like this, especially in a choke point, leaving some, especially if he left turrets with the scrap, then Piercing's scavengers would have created scrap for him. Yeah, it's done. Oh.
Well, that is free scrap for him. If he wants to collect it or not. Nope. Guess I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, this is... Pixel is making a few mistakes here in Canyon. My guess is because he's under so much pressure from Piercing. He's not thinking 100% clearly, and because he's probably never really been in this position too often, right? This is very... I've gotten myself here enough times that I know how to play this with hopefully somewhat good accuracy levels. Like, you can't leave the north and south canyon scrap. You have to get that. If you go canyon, your first priority is get north and south, because you've already gotten mid, right? Like, that's where you're going to park. So he really needed, like, the scrap discrepancy in the map right now is 100 for Piercing with 12 pilots to 23 for Pixel with 6 pilots. So we're looking at, even if that's why I say you really have to get north-south, because this type of pivot into canyon, when done correctly and quickly, can almost even the playing field as far as scrap goes. It can get you a full army, it can get you 40 in reserve or some upgraded units. There's 20, 40, 60, there's 70 scrap in canyons. So I mean, turrets.
You can also attack in a different direction too. Like, you can kind of force your opponent to blind. Now is a nice solar flare.
An artifact. That's bad for Pixel.
Yeah.
This is the problem, as the meta develops on hills. This is going to become more and more common, where people are playing running into canyons. But if you're a smart player who understands the scrap impact zone on this map, you're definitely gonna have that canyon play be a short one, because
I agree.
You want to get out of canyons eventually, because
you cannot
the whole
stay
point
there.
the whole point of the scrap impact zone in this case is to pressure the player to not just play defensively. Like, they have to contest the map at some point, and that's exactly what it's doing right now.
Yeah, and Piercing is just whittling Pixel down, starving him out, I think, at this point, because we see, oh, here's a rush on the power. What is this, an AI, or is this Piercing himself? Oh, he didn't like the gun tower.
Yeah, he didn't like Piercing will absolutely rush gun towers. I mean, it would have...
Okay.
Don't let these day wreckers land, please. Please don't let them land.
I don't think he sees it. Oh, nope, it's all.
He doesn't see it. I saw it at the edge of the screen. No. There's another one on the way. Is he gonna get it? You can technically shoot these down as a jetpack.
And here's
jockey.
Piercing. It doesn't matter that he gets the second one. That day wrecker cripples you. Piercing again. We have to speak to his map attention and map control. He's aware. Piercing is an aware player, and he's going to, when a day wrecker lands, when a comet lands, when he has the huge advantage of armed units, he's gonna take a fight that's gonna benefit him. I mean,
his tank's upgraded by now, so these soldiers are not going to do anything for him.
No, there's rocket tanks out already. This is the very beginning of the end here. The recycler's going to go down. Pixel himself goes down. So the the canyon play for Pixel was necessary, but it also needed to be short lived. So
Yeah.
he needed to go in there. He needed to have a silo north on his way to mid with a scavenger there.
Yep.
Gobble that 20 up, get the 30 at double geysers in mid canyon, and then go fight immediately
Yep.
to get south / push out. You
Yep.
have
I
to be
agree.
there with your offensives, with your army pushing out to stop Piercing from taking south spot, because we already knew he had a minefield. He didn't even contest north scrap. Um, it was it, I think Piercing played that beautifully. I think his skill level has really gone up in recent months, specifically.
I agree.
There's a conglomeration of things that he's used. New updates with the game, jetpack mixed with the Git, being able to start with your own loadouts. I've seen him start with sight camera. I've seen him start with minigun on the Git. I've seen him start with different varied loadouts, and he uses all of these changes to perfect his style of gameplay. So it's really
Yep.
interesting to see how everything. It's like he's playing BZ on steroids a little bit. Those first 3 to 4 minutes are really going to determine the whole pace of the match. That's why I always rush an army against Piercing, because the minute he he gets me on the back foot, I'm in a very bad way. So I have to
Yep.
come out of the gate swinging.
Yeah. Still, Pixel lasted a long time. I do applaud Pixel for the early pressure. And it's very interesting. He's picking the same kind of map against Piercing. Again, this is one that I've given Piercing lots of practice on. So I don't think Pixel is using, like, he's good and bad at the same maps that Piercing feels comfortable or not comfortable on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what to label Pixel as in terms of like the way they typically approach the game.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he's just learning at this point, right? Like
Yep, I would agree.
he
I'll
doesn't
snag
have
on
his
that in a
own
second.
style yet, because he's so new to strat, and he's seeing there are so many different ways to open, so many different ways to play, to approach the game. Like, it's going to blow his mind after this match when we tell him that he was missing out on 6 scrap every deposit. Like, he's going to think,
I know,
wow,
right?
how much more powerful was that scav opener going to be? So, he's making the same
Yeah.
mistake here he made in game 1. I can tell you already. He's spamming light tanks, and this is a problem when you're against Piercing. Piercing's playing Black Dogs in a Git. You can't take NSDF light tanks into B-Dog light tanks against Piercing and
Yeah, they
expect to
will
have
lose
the
every time.
economy go your way. Piercing's going to get that scrap. Piercing is going to outspam you. His factory builds faster. So if you're straight up trying to do a mirror, you're going to lose to Piercing. Piercing is, you need Black Dogs to come, in my opinion, and you still need APC. I can't see an 8 light tank army against Piercing. I don't think it's going to go well.
He needs to get in this tank now. Yeah.
Okay, this is good. Pixel moves his recycler to a new spot to get more scrap. Is that what happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he
I
moved
liked
up
him.
onto the little plateau there. Okay, so he's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get
nice.
another 30 scrap or so from there.
Okay. See, it's nice and defensive, but it's too little scrap for the travel time. I like to go north because there's so much scrap northwest. And if you put
Yeah.
your recycler back there, it's so safe.
Mm-hmm.
But Piercing put a shitload of early pressure by just deploying at the south central location there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
one
Did
thing
Piercing already grab mid scrap?
I don't think it even mattered because I mean now he can. It's just a matter of just like just plopping a silo above him north-ish of his position, and that's
Oh.
just it.
What is he going to put on these tanks? Tag cannon.
Oh, tag
Okay.
cannon. Okay, so
I hope he has. He's gonna have to follow that up with a supply though, because even if he wins a fight, those tanks are gonna be ammo depleted after the fight. So we'll see how that plays out.
okay, Pixel, man, I feel like Pixel really needed to move here again. Like he armed his units. I would go I would just pick everything up and go east and north and wrap around and get all that scrap that's on my
Yep,
side of the
I
map.
agree. I agree. There's just so much scrap out there, and he's got time. He's got time to make the move. Now,
Okay,
hold on.
two turrets down now around Piercing's
He
wreck, and
might have broke. Oh man, if he had an APC,
yeah, again, I think.
his target prioritization is a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
But
He's working the
Piercing's gonna
angles.
fight this hill so well. Oh, there's an M curtain from Piercing too. Piercing's working his armory for pods during this fight. So again, it can be extremely challenging to win.
What is going?
The firepower from the tag cannon might actually give him this recycler kill.
Oh my God,
That
this
adds a
is
lot
an
of
insane.
firepower to
Without
that unit.
the only thing that's kept. Oh my God, Piercing's recycler
got it.
just went down. Okay,
Yeah.
Got it.
so.
And the hill gives him a lot of defensive position. Now he just has to get that scrap. But
Oh
the
my
hill
God, there's
does.
still 5 units alive on Pixel's side of the field. Piercing's
How much ammo
factory
do they
comes
have?
down. The turrets are in the wrong position for this fight. They need to be moved up again. Pixel took out those 3 turrets with his player tank, and even though he was on red hole, he still gets the wreck with that tag cannon firepower. What a play from Pixel. This is huge.
I need to
Yeah,
try
but
that.
the problem
I need to
is his
try that.
economy is pretty much busted now, and I don't think he has a very safe way to secure it unless he
No, he
can
does
take out
not.
this factory with
What is
this one
what is
APC.
happening? What's happening to Piercing's units? Piercing
Yeah,
immediately switches to the rocket tank. Good play from Piercing
of
because
course. Yep.
Piercing knows that an APC strike is coming. Yep, there it is.
Did he even drop those soldiers?
Nope.
Oh
Didn't even
no.
get a chance. Didn't even get. Now look at the gunner pick though. The gunner pick
Yeah,
might be inspired. Knock
it's
down
not
that
going to be
silo.
enough.
Knock down the silo, Pixel.
Oh, he
Oh,
sees
and
the
he sees the
constructor.
constructor.
Okay, this is going to be too little too late from Pixel here, I think. Piercing is already cresting
Yeah.
that plateau hill. He sees the recycler.
Yeah.
It's
He
No
sees the
empty.
follow-up.
wrecked.
There is
No turrets. No turrets. Oh, if he had turrets, it would be all Pixel. And there goes the constructor, but it is too late. All
Man, if he
Pixel
just had
needed.
a follow-up or some backup scrap
All
to
he
fall
needed is
back
2
on.
turrets. Just 2 turrets. Yeah, and even just a silo north-ish of his spawn would have been giving him some slow feed. Still, it's the makings of a super impressive play. I like what I saw. I really like what I saw.
Yeah, the tag cannon on light tank is really underrated for NSDF and Black Dog. Like it adds so much firepower to the unit. Ammo becomes a huge problem because both of those weapons, like both the At Stabber and the tag cannon, are very ammo inefficient weapons. But in exchange for that, you get so much DPS.
Yeah. Yeah, I really have to commend Pixel here for a heads up play. I mean, he may not have followed up with it and executed perfectly all the way through, but he still got the wreck, and he had 5 units left after he got the wreck. Like that, to do that against Piercing, it takes some level of skill that Pixel clearly has. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see how he progresses through his BattleZone career. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I agree. I like what I'm seeing.
Let's see what the next map is.
And they can repeat map picks. They're allowed to. We put no restrictions on it to make it simple.
No blast chamber. Oh fuck. Okay.
There it is.
We see it. This is the blast
There's the
chamber
veto.
pick.
That's a smart veto. Piercing it. Oh, but he's gonna pick. If he picks channels,
It's all over if he picks Grizzly Gulch.
I mean,
think
Oh man, yeah, this is over. Like
I would
like
rather fight. No, I would actually rather fight piercing on Gulch than Blast Chamber.
Well,
Okay, Pearson,
I don't
who
know.
was
The
saying,
defense, the amount of skill it takes to defend against an early Black Dog attack on this map is ridiculously high,
Yeah,
at least currently. So,
that's true. It's.
I think the middle geysers kind of added an extra element of challenge to that mixture too, because
Yep.
like you can basically just get the middle of the map while you're attacking your opponent, and like early game is really bad. Once you get the mid game though, it's not too horrible.
yeah, I'm a contender for just especially on a map like Gulch where you have essentially what comes down to 90 scrap in your spawn. I mean, within reason, you get 30 per geyser. So I think you have, if you're expecting Piercing to play his game with you on Gulch, you have to open some type of scavenger factory combination. Like, you have to get your factory out and deployed soon, or you're going to get overwhelmed. And you can see Piercing is no fool. Like, when he comes into your base and is shooting things, those things really need to stay alive for you. You don't want them to die. He's going to try to take down your constructor. He's going to try to take down your scavengers. He's going to try to take down your silos. Your factory is a big priority for him, though. He will dive that factory and sit with jetpack on it. He cannot allow it to live. It's too dangerous.
Here's my prediction. He's going to take out this factory in about 20 seconds, if not sooner. If he's deciding to rush, which I'm pretty sure he's going to, but we'll see.
Yep.
But he usually he likes to deny those front geysers because
and here it
once
is.
he does,
Piercing
it's game over.
already has the factory targeted. It's not even been given a build order yet. It doesn't seem like, and it's definitely not a light tank or an APC. I don't know what he decided to build, but oh, it is a light tank. Oh, he's crushing light tanks out of this factory again. So this might be a misnomer that's happening right now in Pixel's brain. Like, Pixel, I feel, is playing in such a way that's saying the only chance I have to beat him is to counter rush him.
Yeah.
And
now, if he moves up a side, I've seen that work. Just like, okay, cool, you can have my spawn. I've already gotten all the scrap from it. It doesn't gain me anything from a positional perspective.
He needs to be moving his. He needs to undeploy his factory or move his recycler to the other side.
Okay, here it is right here. The recycler's coming down on the west spawn geysers. So
interesting.
This is going to be good. Oh, and he's going into mid with his factory. Okay, so Pixel is making another correct decision here. He just keeps surprising me, honestly, with really, really heads up plays. Like, this is going to be devastating if he gets this factory, gets deployed on it, gets this offensive unit that's just sitting there doing nothing. Piercing, who knows where he's at. A little bit of loss there is really unfortunate, but this tank is going to go down. Pixel's good enough.
He's got it. He's got this. Good shit.
Okay,
his recycler's undefended though, so like it would not surprise me if it goes down.
Well, Pixel has defensive units here up on his menu already, so I don't know how many.
Yeah,
or
if
what
he
they
drops
are.
some turrets, nice pressure on the constructor. It's
one of those things where going down.
Yeah, it slows Piercing down, and if you constantly slow him down like chip by chip, it makes it so much harder for him to execute his strategy.
This is bad for Piercing. Piercing has 58 scrap, but he's not deployed on.
He's not where he wants to be with his factory.
His factory is undeployed, so he can't really.
He can't crank out stuff.
It doesn't matter his scrap advantage right now because that fact hit was so big for Pixel. Now Pixel's going to go in here and spend all the ammo in his Grizzly, which is very Grizzly one of him to do. Like,
don't push it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to lose.
Oh, one of those turrets is undeployed.
Oh, okay.
You need to position that Yeah, he's going to feed here. He's not going to win this fight.
He's gonna try to take down.
That
Okay,
turret is just murdering everything.
Come on, target the wreck. He didn't issue the order. He had a moment.
Pixel goes down in the explosions. Okay,
He
should have just held mid scrap. If he had done that, just lock piercing into that small corner of the map.
He almost had it. There was a moment because only one of Piercing's turrets was deployed. So if he'd held just a little tiny bit longer, knocked out the turret. Now at least he can recover. He's got no pilots though.
So yeah, Pixel hops into a heavy razor here, and he's driving right back toward.
I actually like it. No, I like it because he can knock down some of those turrets, and he can do it pretty much with impunity at this range.
The problem is that Piercing is going to see this in attack order. I bet you 100% attack order.
Yeah, right there. Yeah,
it's already doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
now if he can bait these onto his side, and I mean, look at that damage he's doing.
That is a lot of damage.
That was huge. Yeah, now the jetpack
that was actually.
Oh my God! What an SP shot from the AI Grizzly. Pixel goes down to 1 life here in mid. So, what was a really good first 4 minutes for Pixel has now he made a couple of missteps there. He pushed a wreck when really he didn't tick any of those pre-wreck check boxes yet, right? Like, you need an outpost. You need.
I love it.
Yeah, you need certain things.
Pre-wreck rush. Your pre-dino check.
Yeah, you need a scrap advantage. You need defensives going down on top of the fight after it's happened. You need a silo there. You need an outpost to fall back to. There are things you have to have before you're ready, and those things take scrap. And Pixel just ignored
you need scrap in your pocket before you do that.
Right, Pixel just ignored the scrap, but now he's working this better now. He's got a silo here on this west mid spot where his factory is still cranking units, and he's smart enough to have his constructor build 1 barracks, but he's stuck on 2 pilots right now, and his constructor's doing nothing. So this is a macro problem. Okay, and here's a push from a dual SP rocket scout that Piercing likes to get in, and that factory is going to go down, and then all these units are going to go down. He's probably upgraded several of them.
Yeah. You got to get out of there, bro. You got to get out of there.
This is looking bad.
Build a silo.
Pixel's still. He's recycled it. He's lost his factory, and he's recycling. No, he's placing turrets around his wreck. So he has 3 turrets here. This is not going to be a 100% pushover, but Piercing knows how to get around 3 turrets. It's not going to be the end of the world for him.
It is going to be a pushover because the turrets aren't deployed.
Oh no. Piercing just sent all of his. Oh no, he's called him back now. Okay, the turrets have had long enough to deploy, but one of them's low hole on the right there, and Piercing is smart enough. He has dual SP rocket bomb in this scout, so they're gonna go down. The 1 turret's now out of position, and this is the type of high level play I expect to see from Piercing these days, because he's like, when Pixel pushes in to the wreck, I should go back and try to screenshot what he had, but right now what Piercing looks like is he had 42 scrap and 16 pilots on the wreck push, and he still has offensives now that the recycler's almost down. He's still been cranking offensives this whole time and still is above 30 scrap and 15 pilots. So that's the type of pressure that you need to be creating in BZ. You can't build up all the units and then just hit the W key, right? There's other steps in it. You have to be dropping silos. You have to be remote building barracks. You have to be following your battlefield presence up with economy. And that's one of the things that's so much fun about BZ is you can't just be good at shooting. You have to be good at the economy game.
Yeah, there it goes. It was still some really interesting plays from Pixel. Like, I don't think he made this easy for Piercing at all.
I don't think he did either. I think he surprised Piercing, especially with the wreck rush we saw on Felix Ganymede. Yeah. I think Piercing is not cutting Pixel any slack. I really think Piercing is playing as good as he can play, and it's been some convincing wins, but there haven't been any 3-minute wins. These games have gone to 10 minutes to 8 minutes, and that against Piercing is quite an achievement. I mean, for how long Pixel's been playing, we have to give him credit for that. So yeah, and it did look like the units that Piercing had were upgraded. So with Shadower, the scouts had Shadower on them. So yeah, now this is really just elementary. This is almost in the books now. We see a turret moving across mid, but oh, that was just a pilot. That wasn't even Pixel. That wasn't even Pixel. How did you not see that? Okay, Piercing goes for a jetpack kill here on a pilot.
Is Pixel gonna go for? Oh no, Pixel surrendering. I was gonna say Pixel, you could go for lives because Piercing is playing just a little bit riskier, but that's the GG.
Okay.
It's over.
Yeah, and there you have it. So that was
Still a really good
Damn.
showing from. What up? What up? Hey, still Pixel, I want to commend you for being like just a few months in this far in like getting this far in the BattleZone tournament. Like that's very impressive. Good job.
Yeah.
Good
yeah,
job.
and
I
you
fucking
did.
You're up against a lot of tough players.
I tried.
Yeah. You
I tried
did.
to
You did. You
recycle
tried really
once,
well.
but
And congrats, Piercing. Seriously, congrats. Congrats. You are doing extremely well. You are rising far.
Yeah,
Wreck, that was
next time
fun.
you try out my scav openers, make sure you're hitting like the deploy key, the K key, on top of using the scrubber.
oh, really?
Because that would have doubled your capacity for carrying scrap, and it would have sped up your early collection phase.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
that's
it
what I was
lets your
That's
scavenger
the
hold
missing
12.
ingredient.
missing. Hey, Piercing, did you like my my tag cannon light tanks? I thought that was
That's
pretty
fun.
cool.
I
Definitely.
like that a lot. Like that was brilliant. A lot of people sleep on that because people underestimate just how effective light tank upgrades can be, despite how squishy those units are. If it's done correctly, it adds so much firepower to that unit.
Man. Damn.
On
That's-
Grizzly, if
that's
you wouldn't have
quite a
pushed, if
few
you would have held back, you could have actually gotten
Yeah.
a lot more
Yeah,
scrap.
yeah.
and
I was like, man, don't push it. Don't go for the recycler. You don't have enough. Just like go overkill with scrap denial and mid map control and
I
then
led you
when
right into.
yeah.
I led you right into my turret. Like you just fed me.
Yeah, Pixel, I would highly recommend going back and watching the commentary video once it gets live on YouTube. But
I got two to put together now.
yeah,
Nice.
Well,
definitely.
I knew I knew that I would push into his turrets, but I was thinking that because I took out his factory, he wouldn't have any other units. So I figured
Yeah,
we could.
so what's this is the best pivot from aggression. At that point, you needed to pivot into scrap control and a scrap take on mid.
Yeah,
And
you could have done geyser denial too. Like if you denied the like his spawn geyser and the any geyser that the factory could go to, you could have just limited him to only scouts and red devils, and then like
built
at that
rocket
point,
tanks.
yeah, and then at that point, like there are no offensive units that the Black Dog player can build that would even stand a chance against your army.
So really what I'm trying to say is you got the Grizzly Gulch game into a position where you were actually winning, like you were winning pretty hard. Being able to trap Piercing in his spawn geysers and be placing turrets and trying to work off his spawn, you did very well, dude. You got his fact
Yeah.
taken down, you got his offensives taken down. You just needed to stop once you got the fact and you cleaned him up in mid. You needed to stop, build a silo, bring turrets forward, get an outpost, get a hangar and supply, and take control of all the scrap in mid so that Piercing can't get any of it. And then once you have all of it, you max out offensives, upgrade them with dual SP or your weapon of choice, tag cannon if you want, and then you go push.
Yeah,
I'm actually impressed. You got my wrecking game too, though. Good job, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that was
that was
exceptional.
another huge win for you, Pixel. I mean, to get Piercing's wreck is not an easy thing to do, and you did it in a tournament game. You again, I think the big mistake that really cost you the Felix game was leaving your wreck at that second geyser. You really needed to go northeast with your factory and your producers to get more silos down. And you, since that's one thing like I've learned about playing Piercing is you got to a spot on Felix Ganymede where you had 8 or 9 offensives, I think. That all that is in a Piercing match for me is insurance against losing my wreck. That's all that means to me. So I need to take my wreck and move it now that it's protected to more scrap. And then once I've got a handle on the scrap, got 50, 60, 70 in the bank, then I'm upgrading and trying to make plays and keeping a strong economy behind any pressure I create. So you are doing so many things well that take a lot of people very long amounts of time to learn. So you got to commend yourself. You got to be happy with your performance. I think definitely you with more practice, dude, you're going to be an absolute menace to face. I think you really are.
Well, appreciate that, but I'm out.
Hey, no, you still played super well. You made it as far as I did. Well played, Piercing. Well played, Pixel. Is really cool to see. Pixel, you did not take that lying down at all, and I'm impressed. I like what you're seeing. You are someone that I have to take very formidably in all games. GG's. Piercing, you demonstrated a lot of cool stuff. I like how you're integrating a lot of things in there. That was really fun to watch and break down. Rexus was fun. We got to do more of these.